So these at least one probability. So when you're working on probability, specifically when it's in this textbook or, you know, 'cause they kind of prompt you, but in the real world, you know, in real life or whatever you want to call it, it also occurs when you're trying to do, you know, when you want to find the probability of at least one thing happening. So what you want to remember is you do one minus the probability of none happening. And what does that mean? Well, up here it says, suppose 10% of apples are bad. I almost said Alice French fries. Um, and you get a bag of 10, what's the probability that at least one of those apples is bad? So what you do is, okay, well, if 10%, so in this case, we're going to do 1 minus the probability that they're all good, no bad apples. And that will be, that'll take off whatever's left is the probability of one bad apple, the probability of two bad apples, all the way up to 9 bad apples. Okay, what we're finding here is the probability that are 0 bad apples, right? All good. So we don't want to calculate all those probabilities. What a pain. So what we're going to do is do this. We're going to say, okay, so if there 10% of them are bad, that means 90% of them are good, right? So 0.9. And now we're selecting 10 apples. So that's why they're saying the probability that all are good is going to be 0.9 raised to the 10th power, and that'll be the probability that all of them are good. There's no bad apples, and as you can see what Dr. Stevens did here, 1 minus that probability that they're all good. Okay, same thing with a smoke detector. If we have 3 smoke detectors and each of them has a 90% chance of working, what's the probability that they don't work? Because we want to find at least one working, right? So the probability of not work, so it didn't go off, is going to be 1 minus 0.9. So that's going to be 0.10. That's where they got the 0.10 from. And then because we got 3 smoke detectors, the probability that all 3 of them don't work is 0.1 to the third, and we do 1 minus that, and that'll be the leftover. That'll be the probability that they all work, that only 1 works, that only 2 works, or I guess I labeled them all because it's 1, 2, or 3. Okay. So does that make sense? Let's do a couple more. So that answers. I hope that answers your question. Is where are they getting the 0.9 from? They're finding the probability of the opposite. So I pulled a couple more problems out of the book. So here's number 24 from what page is this on? Page 69. Okay, so they kind of walk you through right through this one. So 2% of the spark plugs is defective. What's the probability that one is not defective? Well, the probability of not defective, here I'm going to abbreviate very defective. I guess I didn't. That's equal to 1 minus 0.02, so 0.98. So then we're going to pick 4 spark plugs. What's the probability that all of them are not defective? So these are independent events. So because of that, we can just do the repeated multiplication rule. So I could do 0.98 times 0.98 times 0.98 times 0.98, or the easy way, 0.98 to the 4th power, because we got 4 spark plugs. And then we'll just take this, that'll be the answer to B. Then to get the answer for C, we'll just do 1 minus that answer. Well, whatever it is. You can go look up the answer in the back of the book, or use that think do TD selected answers in course resources, right? So that's what would be the numeric answer. Let's try another one. So for this situation, we want 1 minus the probability that none of the lies are detected. And they already told us that it'll catch 95% of them, where you got 10 lies. So I'm thinking we're going to do 1 minus 0.95 to the 10th power. And whatever's left over will be at least the probabilities of at least 1 being detected, probability of 2 being detected, probability of 3 being detected, all the way up to probability of all 10 being detected, I think, right? So but not the probability of zero being detected, because that's what this is, right? So what we'll do is you'll just crunch that on a calculator. I don't have a calculator right on me, but I'm pretty sure this is how this one works. Okay, and we're ignoring the truths because those are truths. We're trying to see if they catch the lies. Okay, so buzzword, look for the at least one. Remember, you're always going to do one minus the probability of none, and then you just got to figure out what the heck's none. Okay, and you can try some more in the book if you want, like number 27. That'd be a great discussion forum post if you want to try that. There's the jumper cable one on the next page, and that's actually got the answers in the back. And then smoke detectors is one that you could post in the discussion forum and see if you got it. Okay, let me know if you need more.